everybody. We are the Hallmarkies podcast, and we're so excited today. We are here to talk to one of our favorite younger Hallmark Hall stars, and we're here to talk to Lilah Fitzgerald. This is so exciting. And I'm Rachel. Amber's here.
Hi, everybody. You guys, I am so excited about this. Rachel can attest that every time Lilah is on the screen, I'm like, yes, she's the best. So I'm so excited.
Yes, we're both really, really excited. And Lilah, thank you so much for giving up of your time for this.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's so exciting to me to be on this. When I found out that you wanted me to come on, I was like, yes, of course.
Well, wow. Well, thanks. So you are in New York City, right?
Yes, right now I'm in New York for the Joffrey Ballet School Summer Intensive.
That's amazing. That sounds very intense.
Yes, it's called an intensive for a reason.
Yeah.
It's very hard, but I'm learning so much. So
yeah.
I'm so
wow.
happy to be here.
That is really, really cool. Well, why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers and our listeners? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to get into acting, and then we'll talk a little bit about dance as well. But what inspired you to get into acting?
Well, for me, I wanted to be originally a high five girl. It was this show that I've wanted to act ever since I realized that it was real people that I was seeing. I was like, oh, I can do that? I was 3 when I said, this is what I want to do. Can I please be an actor? And she was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But we lived on a ski hill in the Okanagan, so you can't really find anywhere to do auditions or anything near there, and we didn't know anything about the business. So I kept asking, and then by the time I was 4, my mom was like, oh, she's actually kind of serious about this. So she looked into acting classes and stuff around us and what I could do for theater around us so that I could get an experience of it to see if I really liked it. And she found one, but you had to be 6 to get in. You couldn't be any younger than 6. It was just the community music hall had musical theater classes. Mm-hmm. And so I waited 2 years, and I was still very much interested in doing acting. And my mom didn't realize that we had made a bargain, but to me this was a bargain that if I did a year of musical theater, then I could be a real actor. So I did my year. I waited, and she, like I said, she didn't realize that it was actually okay, if I do this, then I get to be a real actor. But on the night that was the end of our year-end performance, I said, okay, Mom, can I be a real actor now? And she said, oh, well, I think you have to get an agent. I said, okay, can you help me get an agent? And it all kind of started from there. So I've been doing this since I was 7. And if anything, I've only started loving it more.
Oh my gosh. So you were a really determined little kid. Your mom had no idea what she'd agreed to.
Yeah, she's been so supportive of it. I could not have done it without her. But she had no idea what she was getting herself into. We didn't at all. When we were, so like I said, we were in Vernon, which is in the Okanagan, which is a 6-hour drive from Vancouver. So we went to Vancouver and we saw about agents, and luckily I got an agent, and we were like, oh, that's cool. This is awesome. I can actually do this now. But every time I had an audition, we had to drive all the way across the Coquihalla Mountain Pass to get to Vancouver, which was a bit better in the summer, but once winter came, sometimes you could barely see the road in front of you because it's great, it's pouring, snow is just coming down, and there's huge trucks going because that's, at that time of year, not many people are taking road trips to Vancouver. So it's mainly big trucks that are delivering shipments and stuff. So it was intense. And then eventually after a year, my mom, we all like sat down as a family, and we were like, either we move to Vancouver or Lilah can't do this anymore. And luckily, my sister was getting a bit older, so she had kind of outgrown the small town. And my dad got a job here, and so it was just better for everyone. And my mom works online, so she can go anywhere. So luckily, I have a very supportive family.
Yes, and you didn't have to become on Ice Road Truckers as one of those guys. Yeah. I mean, that would have gotten you on TV, but probably not the show you were looking for.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really cool. Wow. I mean, I'm just thinking of what I was doing when I was 7. I didn't have your motivation, your determination. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I've always been very determined to if I set my mind I'm gonna do something, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. Very cool.
And when did you begin dancing?
I started dancing when I was 10, but real ballet was more when I was around 11. So that's very late, actually. Most people start when they're 3 to 6. Usually older for starting. So that has been a struggle in the past to catch up with everyone who had been already dancing for most of their lives. But I feel now I've finally managed to catch up and be on the same level as some of the people at my age.
Well, why did you start dance?
I just always thought it was beautiful, and I never really thought too much about it. I was like, oh, I think I'd like to do ballet. It seems fun. It seems pretty. I didn't really realize how much of an athletic sport it was and how much it takes out of you to perform and stuff. It's hard, and point really hurts. I didn't realize any of that. I just kind of thought it was pretty, and then I started dancing, and it kind of reminded me of, I used to always wish on stars, oh, I wish I could fly. And then I started dancing, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm finally able to fly. So that's why I think I fell in love with it. And then since then, it's such a beautiful way to perform, to be able to tell a story and show emotion without saying a single word.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Yeah, we have a great ballet company here in Utah, Ballet West. Yeah, this is a really, really good one. And I really enjoy it, getting to, I don't know, just the music. I'm probably more of a music person than I'm a dance person, but just the combination of the two is really pretty.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
How cool. Wow. So what do you think you get out of dancing and acting, that you like to have both? Is that overwhelming to try to do both, or do you like that?
Sometimes it's very overwhelming. I mean, I can't imagine a day where I would ever stop doing either of them. I know lots of people have told me, the dance world, lots of people say, okay, if you want to do this, you can't be an actor. And lots of people in the acting world, not so much. Some people have said, oh, it'll be pretty hard for you to dance if you're also an actor. It hasn't been as much of a discouragement from dancing in the acting world as it is from in the dance world. Schools want you to be able to commit year round. I'm going to be there every single day. And yes, if I can, I will. But if I'm working on a movie, I'm not going to be able to come to every class. But that doesn't mean I'll stop working hard. And if there's rehearsals involved, I'll still if someone sends me a video, sometimes people will video the choreography they've done so that they can look it over, and then I'll learn the choreography from that and stuff. And so it does get overwhelming, especially some schools. I've had schools be kind of oh, well, we're not really going to accept you and let you in if you're going to do acting. But I've managed to work my way around that and say, no, you know what? I'm serious about dancing and I'm serious about acting.
Yeah. You're I'm the double threat. Get over it.
Yeah.
And you're I'm supposed to explore who I am. Stop trying to put me in a corner.
I'm too talented to do one thing.
Nobody puts Lilah in a corner.
That's right. Oh my gosh. So do you go to regular school or are you a homeschool?
I'm homeschooled, but now I've actually graduated just this past year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, my sister graduated early. She finished she did homeschool for high school, but went to regular school for middle school, and she graduated at 16. And so we actually, even though we're 2 years apart, we actually went to college together, which was fun. Yeah, and everybody was like, "Oh, you must be a genius." She was like, I don't know about that," but yeah. So, what are your plans next? Are you?
Just I think at this point it's continuing my dance training for like
Uh-huh.
swimming and always acting. You know, hopefully lots more Darrow movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But other than that, my main goal in life is to be an actor and a dancer.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll just see what the future brings for other things.
Very cool. Very neat. Okay, so your first role for Hallmark was from When Calls the Heart. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what was that like?
Oh, When Calls the Heart was, I think it'll always be one of the favorite things I've been on, because if you just go from like how amazing it is to be in those costumes to working with all those incredible actors, you know, it was just kind of the whole package of what you'd love to do about acting. It was, you know, I got to sing in it. So that was also amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I got to wear like the old fashioned clothes, which I've always loved, but the writing on it was incredible. The storylines were beautiful, and all the other actors, I learned so much from everyone. I will never forget what an amazing time I had on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also there's so many kids on that set that it probably was just kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that show. I love the kids on that show. They're the best part. Don't tell the adults.
Yeah, I totally.
Hidden secret. Yeah. That's really cool. So yeah, and and then you did 2 Hallmark movies, In My Dreams and Harvest Moon.
Yes.
What were those like to do?
In My Dreams was really fun. I mean, once again, working with all the actors was incredible. It was everyone, I feel like, on that really accepted, like, no one really treated me like, oh, she's a little kid actor. They all made sure that it wasn't like it wasn't, oh, she's the kid actor, we're the adults. Because lots of times on sets, kids will get treated like less than like, oh, you're a kid, you're obviously not a great actor.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't had to experience that much. But so on In My Dreams, I didn't feel really like a child actor. I felt like an actor. And then also when I went on to Harvest Moon, I think, once again, that's one of my favorite things I've ever been on. I got to be the pumpkin queen on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, working with all the actors again, it felt like a family on that set. Like it felt like we got to all know each other well enough that we were really comfortable with each other. And so it actually felt like working with friends, not people that, you've been hired to work together. It was like, oh, I really enjoyed working with everyone on that set.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, and Jesse Hutch, I just imagine he would just be so fun on set.
Oh yeah, he was amazing. It was so fun. Like I said, it felt like a family.
Yeah, we got to interview Jesse, and he was the best. It was so nice.
So awesome.
You had 2 Jessies on that set.
Yeah, that was pretty funny to have like Jesse. Which Jesse?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a while actually, Jesse and I were neighbors.
Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
So that was pretty cool.
Which was
just best friends. Oh yeah, which Jesse?
Yeah, which Jesse?
The guy Jesse.
The guy Jesse. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, that I really like that I think it's a really good Hallmark movie because I think they take a character, the Jessie Shrimp character, that could be really unlikable because she's sort of a diva, but they managed to make her really likable, and you're rooting for her, and I think they do a good job with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's because, she was supposed to be the kind of diva, but still, even from the start, I think everyone really liked her and was rooting for her.
Yeah. It's a tricky thing to do, and Peter DeLuise, I think, is the director.
Yeah, that was incredible to get to work with him. It was, it was wonderful.
Cool, great. Then we had the Darrow and Darrow, so let's talk about that. Lou, so she starts out as kind of a sort of a nerdy character. She's sort of uncomfortable in amongst her peers at school. Was that something that you could tap into and relate to at all, or you seem like you'd be super popular? But
I like to think I'm likable. I haven't really. Of course, everyone has dealt with bullying, but I haven't really dealt with feeling like, I've never really been the new kid at school except for like ballet schools. But I can definitely relate to some people, if you come in, some people feeling like threatened or something if you come in and you're not, it's like, this is a new person, I don't really know them, are they a threat type thing? And I think that's kind of what Lou went through with people were thinking of her like, she's younger than us, she can't be smarter than us, was what she was dealing with. And, getting to be in that role to show, like, I love getting to bring awareness about bullying in my acting because it is a really big problem. It's something that literally everyone has experienced at least once, or they will experience it at least once, and probably more than once. Yeah. And I mean, Darrow and Darrow definitely is in the top of the things I've been in. It's what I think it might even be. It's hard to choose a favorite for this, but I mean, getting to work on them on movies more than once and then you're done is really fun because it's not so sad as saying, I got really close to you, I worked with you, and now I have to say goodbye forever. But we get to keep coming back for this. So I think that's one of my favorite things about it.
I think it's actually, Rachel and I agree that it's our favorite of the mystery shows, but I think it's because the cast has such good chemistry and all the characters are so well written. It's just amazing. And I mean, Kimberly Williams Paisley is amazing. You're amazing. Wendy Malick is amazing. It's ridiculous. It's not even fair to the other.
When I found out that I was going to get to work with Wendy Malick and Kimberly Williams Paisley, I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Whenever you find out that you're working with a big name, it's kind of a surreal moment, like, oh wow, I'm actually doing this. So, and I mean, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, going onto that set because they are really big names, you never know if they're it's like, I hope they like me type thing. But it's been so amazing to get to work with them. They're just such amazing actors, but also just really beautiful people, I mean, inside and out. They've never made me feel like less than them, even though they are obviously much more established and well recognized. It feels like a family. It feels like when we're all get in the hair and makeup chair together, we talk, and it's a real camaraderie on set, backstage. So I think that's really what helps us when the camera is rolling. We don't have to suddenly pretend like we've known each other all our lives and we're best friends because we already have that relationship.
Yeah. Well, it must have helped too that you, the first one was directed by Peter DeLuise.
Yeah, because I already knew him. So
Yeah, you already knew it. That's cool. I mean, are you close with your extended family, your grandma, or, can you relate to that dynamic for Lou?
kind of, I mean, they live on the East Coast and we live on the West Coast, so I don't really get to see them that much. But I mean, when I do see them, it's not, it's pretty, we're like family.
Yeah, literally.
So we are family. So it's nothing like I don't really know you. I don't know what to talk about. I can kind of relate to that with Lou's relationship with Joanna.
Yeah. I also was, my grandparents were on the West Coast and I was on the East Coast growing up as well. And back in the old day, because I'm so old, we used to actually write letters to my grandma. That's how we kept in touch.
I've actually written a few letters myself to my grandma because I love writing letters. I actually have a wax seal kit, so I always do on things. And I also have like an ink pen type thing, with like an actual nib on it, and you dip it in the ink pot and stuff. So I used to write like fancy letters on like nice paper and stuff. They weren't actually like fancy things I was talking about, but they were mailed with wax seals. So.
You're speaking from my language there. I love that. That's so cool. We would be really, because it was really expensive to call long distance. That was like a special thing. And so, we had to write letters to our grandparents if we wanted to communicate. It's so funny. But that's really great. Yeah, we really loved Darrow and Darrow. We all three, our friend Ruth joined us for our best of
Ruth Hill. You're familiar with her.
Ruth Hill. Yes, I love Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth's the best. And she joined us for our best of Hallmark 2017 non-Christmas episode. And all three of us had Darrow and Darrow in our top 10. So.
Well, that makes me very happy.
Yeah, it was really good. You could just feel the chemistry between everybody. And, I know these things are filmed very quickly. Is that stressful at all, or do you like that energy?
I mean, I haven't actually felt really any stress on the Darrow and Darrow sets, which is really nice. I mean, sometimes you're on set and you have to film like 8 scenes in one day. And, since I'm a kid still, I can only work for 10 hours. So if I'm in all 8 scenes, say, then it can get really stressful. Like, okay, we've got to get this in time. But I actually haven't felt that on Darrow and Darrow at all. So that's been nice.
Oh, good. That's really good. That's good. Okay. Well, so then you were in another mystery.
Yes.
Deadly Deed. What was that like?
Oh, that was so fun. I would say it filmed on Victoria, actually. So that's on Vancouver Island.
Okay.
So that was amazing. I got to, work on site. I stayed there for a while. So that's always something fun. It's like, even though it wasn't super far, it's like, I'm going someplace to film this. I mean, getting to work with Jewel was amazing. She's, another person who you'd be kind of scared to meet and work with because she's Jewel, but she was so nice.
Yeah. Whenever there's those people that are known by only one name, that's always got to be intimidating.
That's always like, oh no. But it actually, I didn't have to be scared for long because she was so incredible. And I mean, she's just like I said before, she's gorgeous on the inside and out. That's what and that's always wonderful when you get to work with people who I mean, she's beautiful, but she's also a beautiful person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great.
And I do have to ask, is Colin Ferguson just like a delight, or is he a diva? I just need to know.
He was just so kind and just was always, he talked with me, never made me feel like a kid actor. Really felt like one of the actors on the set, not like a child actor, which is always something that I love getting to do. And he was just a delight to work with. I mean, he was so nice, so funny, just one of the favorite people I've ever worked with.
That's really good.
I really hope that you get to come back on the Fixer Upper Mysteries, because I really enjoyed having you and your dynamic on the show. It made a different to Mac's character, I think. So
Yeah, I mean, I loved getting to work on that.
More Lilah, more Lilah.
Now,
I'm always up for as many films as possible. So
I could. Some of the mysteries sort of merged together for me, but wasn't there basically kind of a little bit of maybe a hint at a little bit of a teenage romance between you and the other kid?
And Graham.
They were kind of hinting at that, but I mean, we didn't know for sure, but that did definitely seem like what they were hinting at.
Yeah. Okay, good.
And I wish there was more than a hint, because I was fully on board. I was like shipping Callie and Elliot. I was like, Calliet, let's do this. But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
For real, you can go back to our Twitter feed from that day, and I was like, come on, kids, fall in love. It didn't happen.
I still think that they should have made it a crossover from Darrow and Darrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree 1,000,000%.
I feel like that could have been kind of cool.
Well, we are big fans of the idea of the Hallmark Cinematic Universe, that these are all sort of connected in some way. So
that could have been pretty cool.
Yeah, so that would have fit right in. But yeah, what would you think about that if you had like a romantic storyline? Would that be exciting for you, or like embarrassing, or how would you feel?
Weird for me, but at the same, I mean, it would be something fun to explore because I've never done that in acting, and I'm always up for like trying. I'm always interested in doing new things that I've never done before for acting, you know, not just the same like storyline over and over again. But it would also be very weird for me to do something like that. It would be a little bit awkward, I think, at first. I mean, I think I'd manage to pull it off, but it would be a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were on the TV show Date My Dad,
which I loved. I just want to say, I loved Date My Dad.
I loved Date My Dad. That was so amazing to work on, because since we were filming it for a long time, from January to April, we became so close on the set that I actually felt like I was working with my sisters instead of with, and I've stayed in touch with Audrey and Zania afterwards.
Cool.
We still sometimes see each other because we just became such good friends on that show that there was no way we could just like stop seeing each other after that. Like, okay, I basically spent all my time with you for, I think it was about 3 months, a little bit more than 3 months of filming. And then now I'm just never going to see you again. Bye. We couldn't have filmed that.
Yeah, nice knowing you. Yeah, you got to work with Cindy Busby.
Yes. Oh, I love Cindy. Oh,
yeah.
She's so amazing.
Yeah. And I honestly, like, the 12-year-old girl in me is literally dying over the fact that you got to hang out with Barry Watson, aka Matt Camden from Seventh Heaven. Like,
yeah, I mean, that was another one where I found out that Raquel Welch and Barry Watson were going to be on it. And I was like, oh my God, okay. But it was so amazing. It was, you know, since we spent so much time together, we were a family, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and we got to meet Barry Watson's family. We got to meet his dog, actually, too. I knit his dog a sweater. So that was
nice.
Are you a knitter?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually knitted myself a Joffrey Ballet School sweater, too.
Oh my gosh.
Look at you.
Lilah, you don't have to be good at everything.
Like, lettering on it yet. So right now it's just a navy blue sweater, but it will say Joffrey Ballet School on it.
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. My mom is a huge knitter, and she had to go on full bed rest for when she got pregnant, and she would just knit and knit and knit and knit and
yeah, I mean, it's the perfect thing to do on set behind, like, just waiting, because I've, like, gotten practice enough at it that I don't have to look at it when I'm knitting. I just kind of know what I'm supposed to do. So then I can still, like, have conversations with people, but my hands are just going with my knitting needles.
Cool. Yeah. You're somebody that likes to be doing stuff. You don't like to just veg.
Yeah, I mean, one day of, like, total relaxation is really nice, but any more than that, and any more than, like, 3 days and up, I kind of start to get, oh, okay, I'd like to start doing stuff now.
Yeah. That's really good. That's really good. I on the other hand, I'm like, oh, I gotta do stuff. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
I mean, it depends what stuff I have to do. If it's like going to dance or like doing acting, then obviously I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah. But when it comes to like cleaning my room, it's like, oh, okay, right. We're gonna do this now, that kind of thing. So, you know, I'm a go-getter, but not for everything.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. Well, good. So you had the second Darrow movie, and it seemed like they made a change in Lou's character in the second movie. Was that something you felt? Because I felt like the second movie, she wasn't as nerdy, and, you know, the whole baseball thing and whatever. And I don't know. Did you feel like they made a change in her character? Or?
I feel like there was definitely a change in her character, and I kind of viewed it as her more coming into herself, and, you know, not being as nervous and not being as, like, worried about what other people thought of her, while still being, of course, that teenage girl that's worried about what people think of her. You know, doing baseball, no one really seemed to, they were nice, but they didn't really see her as part of the team, and so, you know, struggling to fit in with that. She's still really unsure of herself, I think, but she has more confidence in being unsure of herself, you know? I feel like she felt more like, yes, I'm not sure of myself, but that's okay in the second movie, more than, oh, I'm not sure of myself, I don't know what I'm doing in the first movie.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's really deep. That's really good.
No wonder you're so good. I'm sitting here being like, wow, yeah, amazing.
I'm like processing that, like, wow. So would you want to be the what did she say, the third female, wasn't it the third female president or something like that?
Yes. I mean, I feel like that would be a lot of responsibility. I don't ever see myself as the president. I mean, of course, I'd have to be the prime minister. But still, I love playing a character that is a powerful woman, you know, like a powerful girl who's like, you know, I'm important in myself.
Did you like the whole idea of goals, plans, and aspirations?
Oh, I loved that. Oh, every so often, sometimes I'll be like, okay, this is my goal, this is my plan, this is my aspiration. Let's go.
Good. So you've taken that into your life, not just your character.
Yeah, it's always fun when I get to work on a set and bring part of the movie back to my normal life with me.
And have they filmed the third Darrow and Darrow, or is that?
We actually just finished filming it. I actually went back to Vancouver from New York for that.
Oh, okay, man. That's so fun.
It was just so exciting to get to go back on that. It's every time I find out that, like, when I got the script, I was like, oh yay, another one. And it's so good because I feel like they're good ones where you really have no idea who done it. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, it could be this person, but it really could be this person too. And I'm just not sure who I actually suspect for it. And, you know, you're reading the script and you're like on the edge of your seat, like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Oh no. Which was definitely what I was going through when I was reading it. And then you finish it and you're like, oh, I can't wait to be part of this.
Okay, but don't tell us.
I won't say anything.
Right.
But do tell us.
You're going to love it. It's, you know, I really can't rank the Darrow and Darrows for what's best, but I do feel like they just keep getting better.
Amazing.
Ooh, yeah. So the second one was fun because they kind of got the Tom Cavanagh and the Kimberly character. They got them on the same side, which was fun to see because it was her sister, because it was his sister, and I liked that. And they were just like everything with like the grape soda and everything. It was so cute.
I love that. It was so cute. Yeah.
My only complaint was they got like so close to kissing, and then they're like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "No."
How does Lou feel about Claire dating again?
I think she's actually okay with it. There's she seems to be happy for her mom. At least, I mean, that's how I'm trying to portray it. That her mom has found someone to love again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, we're not sure if she's in love with him, but I mean, that's definitely what it's being hinted at. So, you know, I think she's really just supportive of her mom getting back out there again.
Awesome.
And we definitely get to see.
I'm just very impatient.
Yeah, I know. You're right, but I think I mean, in each movie you get to see the relationships grow, so that's always fun.
Tell the people in charge that I want Lou to have a small romance Darrow and Darrow 4.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, that would be really fun because I feel
and
like
they can bring back Graham Vercher or however you say his name again, because I like that kid.
Crossover.
But I feel like Kimberly's character, I forget everybody's names, but I feel like she would really struggle with that, and that would be really funny.
I feel like Joanna would be really funny too, to see in that situation, seeing the mom and grandma in that situation would be definitely very fun to see.
I'm a big fan of this plan. I don't know who to tell, but you tell them. You know them.
Well, what did you think of this whole idea of like this coach and this baseball plot line for Lou in the second one?
I mean, I loved the plot. I'm terrible at sports. I mean, just because I've never really tried any of them. I'm sure if I really practice, I'd get pretty good at them. But I've spent most of my time in a ballet studio instead of on a baseball court. So that was stressful, but I did practice. I worked hard to be able to do it. I'm way better at pitching than I am hitting, but it was hitting in the script. So I did have a double actually, so that we could get that good shot of like the really nice hit going far, so that you could see like, oh, she hit it and it's going far. Yeah. But I managed to hit it for my close-up. I managed to hit it for most of it. I just couldn't really make it a full-on home run.
Yeah, well, I would never hit the ball, so you're already better than I am.
It took some practice, but luckily I'd already done softball on Date My Dad, so I had a little bit of practice in the movies.
They're just trying to make you become a professional baseball player now.
They just want me to become, you know, a triple threat, but my triple thing is that I'm a actor, dancer, baseball player.
That's correct.
Yeah, there you go. And knitter. You're quadruple.
Knitter. Sorry.
That's really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, could you relate it all to sort of this coach being kind of like, I don't know. I mean, obviously he was sexist, but like, I don't know, just these difficult coaches at all, or just having to deal with people like that.
Yeah, I definitely have dealt with things kind of like that in the dance world. You know, not everyone's going to believe in you. But, I mean, Lou really did persevere and be like, no, I am good enough, and I know that I'm good enough. And even if you say that I'm not good, I know in myself that's not true. I mean, of course, she struggled with that. She considered quitting the team and focusing on debate. But, I mean, the fact that she stuck through it and was like, no, I love doing this. I'm going to keep doing this, I think was a really good message. And we find out in the end, of course, that he did believe in her, and that's why he pushed her so hard.
Yeah.
You believed him? You don't think he was just lying to date Joanna?
I mean, I think he was lying a little bit. I think by the end he did start to see her potential. I don't know if he was always pushing, like, keeping Lou out so that she'd have to work hard, but I think eventually he probably saw her potential and was like, oh, this is a good kid. I think I should probably give her a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, but I still think he was just being rude at the beginning.
At the beginning, I definitely think he was just rude.
Yeah.
I think there was probably some truth in what he said to Joanna, but he might have stretched how long he'd been pushing her because she was good.
Yeah. He's like, the minute I put her in, I was pushing her.
Yeah. But I mean, I love Coach. He's such an amazing person to work with, but also just such a fun character. And to see Joanna working with like a character like that kind of storyline that they put in the second movie was kind of funny to see, you know, like very opposite people, but very, you know, close to, but, you know, kind of gravitating towards each other anyways.
Yeah, I know you didn't have as many scenes with Tom Cavanaugh, but like he's like super funny. I just have this feeling that he's like the funniest guy.
I haven't gotten to meet him yet.
You haven't met him at all?
I haven't been in any scenes with him, and he usually doesn't like come to the house or where Lou hangs out, and Lou doesn't usually hang out with this. So our days never match up.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, for Darrow 4, I finally get to meet my mom's boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
And Lou's boyfriend.
Oh yeah, sorry, we'll go on a double date.
Yeah, double date. Wendy Malick, is she funny?
Oh, she's so funny. She's just so amazing. I love her so much. Getting to work with her, like every time I get to see her, I'm just so happy to get to work with her again. You know, it's she's definitely one of the best people I've ever worked with.
Yeah. She reminds me a lot of my grandma, my grandma is somebody who like she's like the most loving person I've ever known, but she also like really, she was like she's a class act. She loved like looking like, I don't know, just like classy and funny. And she loves getting her nails done and her hair done every week. And I don't know, just for some reason, I mean, I don't know Wendy Malick, but for some reason, I just feel like her and my grandma would get along really well.
I mean, I think anyone who met Wendy Malick would just absolutely love her. So.
Yeah. Do you have any other projects, or is that your main thing coming up is Darrow and Darrow 3?
That's my main thing coming up right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I'm always auditioning, but for main things coming up, that's definitely the one that I would say is the big thing.
Well, hopefully we can get you into a Christmas movie one of these days.
Oh, I hope they do a Darrow and Darrow Christmas. I feel like that would be very
Love that idea.
With a romance for you. I just want you to have a happy little romance.
Christmas.
Oh,
Like
yes.
even just like a summer thing where like you go to summer school and the boy and you fall in love and you never have to see him again, but just a little bit.
Because Tom Cavanaugh is in a great Hallmark Christmas movie called Trading Christmas. You should check out.
Yeah.
And I would love to see him back in a Christmas movie. That would be so fun.
Darrow and Darrow would make such a perfect Christmas movie. You know, we have like the family aspect.
Mm-hmm.
We have the romance. You know, we've got everything.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Darrow and Darrow's the best of the shows, so just make him a Christmas movie. Come on, guys.
You could have like a Santa, somehow a Santa involved in like getting accused of some kind of crime.
But no one knows which Santa it was that did it. Which person with the Santa suit.
Right. And the wrong Santa gets accused or something. I think it writes itself.
Yeah, it would be so easy.
That'd be really good. I love that idea.
We end our interviews with these silly questions. They are, we call them Teen Beat questions, but that is way before your time. You don't even know what Teen Beat was. It's a magazine.
I think I've heard of it. I feel like I've heard of Teen Beat before, so.
Okay. I mean, if you're just acting, you're doing a great job, so that's good. You're just acting like we, you know.
It was like 17, but more tabloidish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've at least heard of it in an old movie or something.
Okay.
I wouldn't say tabloid. I think it was like 17, but with just like full-size posters.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because honestly, half of the book was just, you could take out the pages and they would be, 16 by 20 posters.
Of Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, and the other side was Devon Sawa. You don't even know who those people are, but they were my world when I was 12. Okay, so the first question. Best ice cream flavor?
Oh, cookies and cream. No question.
Oh, great answer. Okay, favorite color?
Oh, I think purple.
That's my favorite color.
Purple or pink? This is working out great because I'm pink, Rachel's purple. We're all just best friends.
Perfect.
Okay, and then what music are you really into right now? Like, what's on your? You don't even have an iPod anymore, but.
Oh, I mean, I love like new pop music and stuff. I love Broadway music. Right now, I like Panic at the Disco. I like Julia Michaels. More of the like popular music taste, and then always Broadway. Always Broadway.
Have you had a chance to see any of the shows since you're in New York? Are you too busy?
I've last year I came and I saw Chicago and also Phantom of the Opera. So far, Chicago is my favorite I've ever seen on Broadway. It's still winning. But then this year I've seen Beautiful and Kinky Boots. And I'm so excited. On Sunday, we're going to see My Fair Lady.
Oh,
It's like a dream come true for me to get to see that on Broadway. I'm so excited.
Oh, so jealous. Anytime you get to see anything at Lincoln Center, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
I'm actually going later tonight to see ABT perform, American Ballet Theater perform Whipped Cream at the Metropolitan Opera House. So that's
oh my goodness. You're just living the best life.
Oh, yes.
So jealous. Okay.
you'll have to let us know on Twitter or something how My Fair Lady is. I'm sure it'll be amazing. I liked the song from the Tony Awards that they did.
Yeah. I know. I'm so excited. I'm just cannot wait.
That's really cool.
All right. Well, and the next two are about date nights. So if you haven't gone on dates, you just have to guess.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is your go-to date night food.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you don't want to eat like anything like spaghetti or burgers or something that can like messy.
Right.
So I have no idea. Never been on a date, so I'm just gonna like guess like ravioli or tortellini or something, like pasta, because I love pasta, but not long pasta that like kind of gets like slurped into your mouth and makes it kind of awkward.
Genius. Great work.
You're going to be an effective dater. You've got it down. You've got it down.
I'll be great at it.
That's the right choice.
And then go to date night activity. So like something fun to do.
I mean, I think the perfect date would be an amusement park because there's like always something to do. But for date night, I guess it depends how well you know them. Like if you don't know them well, go to a movie so that you don't really have to make too much awkward conversation. But I guess if you know them, it would be fun to like go out for a fancy meal or something.
Yeah.
And you could go to amusement park at night.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty fun date. Yeah.
Perfect.
And if the guy's really worth his salt, he'll win you a giant teddy bear.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, and then the next one is dogs or cats?
Don't tell my sister's cat I'm saying this. Dogs. I have a little Yorkshire Terrier who my sister is looking after right now while I'm in New York, and I miss him so much.
Aww.
So it's gotta be dogs.
What's his name?
Little Prince.
Oh, that's really cute.
Was like one of my favorite books, so it was actually, my sister was like, oh, why don't you name him the Little Prince? And I was like, perfect.
That is
really
oh my
cute.
gosh, that is the cutest little puppy name.
And he is quite the Little Prince, unless it comes, I mean, I like to think I kind of spoil him, but he's definitely not a spoiled brat, so that's good. But I mean, he'll eat anything off the floor. He does not need fancy meals. One time, like sometimes he'll even just try to eat paper or dust. He's like, "Is that food? I think that's food." So it's a little bit stressful. Like, no, don't eat that.
You could call him LP for short.
We do actually. We call him LP for short.
That's hilarious. See, we're just connected. We got it. That's really funny.
All right, and then the next one is beaches or mountains?
Oh. This is really hard because every year I used to go camping at this beautiful campground. Now it's gotten more popular, and I don't want anyone else to know about it, so I'm not going to say the name of it. But it's this lake, and it's beautiful, and there was a secret beach at it. But I grew up on a mountain. So for me, I have like kind of emotional connection to both of them. So I can't really decide, but I think it depends on the mountain or the beach. Like, I prefer lakes to oceans. So if it's like a lakeside beach, I think so. And if it's like a snowy, cold mountain, it's got to be beach. But if it's like a pretty mountain kind of like in the fall when it's like chilly but not freezing but also not boiling hot, it's definitely going to be the mountain. So it really depends on the season and what the weather's like when I'm making the decision. If it's boiling hot, I'm going to go for the beach. If it's kind of cold, I'm going to say, yeah, I always prefer mountains.
Okay, well, you are just making all kinds of sense.
That's probably the best answer we've had to that question.
Yeah, like legitimately.
For sure.
So, way to go. Okay, and then the next one is fancy ball gown or sweats?
Fancy ball gown.
Oh.
Question. Always fancy ball gown. I want to feel like a princess 24/7.
See, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what is your favorite holiday to celebrate?
Oh, I think I really like Christmas, because it's just such a magical time of year, and there's like snow, and everything kind of feels like almost a different magical world sometimes when it's like snowing and you're walking through the park or something, and it's really quiet, and then maybe you hear like a choir, like some people playing music in the distance, or even if you're just listening to Christmas music yourself, it kind of feels like a different kind of fairyland than everyday life. So I think it's got to be Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not even close, because I think we should take this question out, because Christmas just always wins. Because how do you compete against Christmas?
I think Christmas is just like the best time of the year, like not even just best holiday, but out of the year, that's the best time. So
yeah. The last one might be kind of hard I think it's hard for Canadians because they don't have the Hallmark channel. But the last one is favorite Hallmark movie, and you are allowed to pick one that you're in, just for the record.
Okay, one sec. I need to think about this one.
It's fine.
That's all right.
I think it's gotta be the first Darrow and Darrow. Because that was, I haven't been able to watch very many Hallmark movies because I'm in Canada, but especially if we factor in the part where I got to be a part of making it, that just sit like head and shoulders above everything else for me, because it was, I was a part of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, I'm like, oh, I remember filming this scene. We someone said this like funny joke, or we mixed up our lines on this part, and everyone laughed about it because we said such a weird thing. You know, or oh right, I remember that wasn't planned, but we were like, oh, wouldn't it be kind of cooler if I said this, and then it ends up way funnier or something. So you get to kind of be like, oh, I remember that part, or oh, that wasn't scripted. I like actually fell down there type things. So I think it's got to be that one, but it's a really close call between Darrow and Darrow 1 and 2 and Picture Upper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're all good, so.
Oh, yeah. They're all amazing. That was a really hard question.
But we did make the hardest one last. You passed. You did it all.
Perfect. Oh.
Well, you are a delight. You're a very impressive young lady, and I'm so grateful that you just decided to give up some of your time and talk with us.
Thank you. I'm so grateful that you wanted me like on your show. I was really, really honored to be a part of this. Thank you.
Well, anytime, and maybe once it comes closer to the third one, maybe we can have you on again.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you very, very much. Do you have social media or anything that you want to plug?
My social media for everything is Lilah Fitzgerald. So if you know how to spell my name, you know how to find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Great. Well, we'll have that in the description section. And so make sure you guys are following Lilah. She's so sweet. So great. And Amber, where can people find you?
As always, I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and YouTube. So check out that. I would really appreciate it. And make sure you're following our podcast at Hallmarkies Pod on Instagram, Twitter. And if you can put in your reviews on iTunes, we really, really appreciate it because that helps people to find our podcast more quickly. So check that out. And we are really grateful again, Lilah. You're the best. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you so much. It's been so amazing to get to be on this. Thank you.
No problem. And we'll talk to you later. And bye.
Bye.
Bye.